So let's see, where's the introduction written here?
I didn't have one.
She didn't write an introduction since she was introducing herself, but we decided, well, Spirit decided, because there's a lot of them here today being really encouraging, that I was going to introduce this person. So I met Reverend Lisa when I first came to this church, because she started here about a month and a half, something like that, before me, more or less, with her friend Bridget. And my wife Patty was here because she was speaking. And we're good friends. She's another one of my sisters from another mister from this place. I have two of them. I didn't have a big enough family. I only had 3 siblings, so now I have 5. Okay, don't say that one. Okay, they're editing my speech. Reverend Lisa has been a long-time seeker of spirit and truth and enlightenment, and has survived and overcome a lot of things on that path, and we're lucky to have her. Here's Reverend Lisa Argo.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Wasn't as good as she'd have done, but you know.
No, that's okay. I probably would have gone on longer and bored everybody. So I'm sure you've all figured out this morning I'm talking about mercy. This topic has came to me a number of weeks ago, maybe even more than that. You know how you hear a word for days, for weeks, and it just is there, showing you a way. And that was mercy. And I kept hearing it, and I would hear mercy, mercy. And I would hear, be merciful, be merciful. And I would hear, you have mercy, you have mercy. And then I would hear, love is merciful, love is merciful. So I actually finally looked up the definition, a Reverend David thing to do. And it amazed me because I never really thought about the word or gave it any intention in my life. And the definition is compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. That scared me. That much power. Compassion to forgive someone I can hurt. To show compassion or forgiveness, that I know everyone in this room can do. But power to punish or harm, that's part of mercy. And I know I didn't think about that part of it. So let's look at some of the sayings that use mercy in them. Mercy killing, to show compassion or forgiveness in actually hurting someone. At the mercy of, letting someone else have power to show compassion or forgiveness when they can hurt you. Have mercy. Asking someone to show compassion or forgiveness and not hurt you. Have mercy on me. an errand of mercy, a trip in compassion or forgiveness of someone who is hurt or in need. Right, Reverend Gina? An act of mercy, showing compassion or forgiveness in dealing with me and not hurting me. Let's go a little further. Mercy killing. My husband says that's a term in sports. They kill the game if one team has a huge lead over another team. But they don't do that in college, do they? What is the mercy killing? Killing me gently, putting me out of my misery. With the definition of mercy, I would say that it seems an oxymoron to have mercy and killing in the same breath. But it could be. I had to put my cat Cleo down. She had kidney issues and was really ill. I had to put my dog Charlie down. He was ill. Putting an animal down sounds better than killing them, even if it is a nice injection that just lets them slip into sleep. A death is a death, mercy or otherwise. I feel extreme guilt, and I've never said this to anybody, but I have guilt in giving my mother that morphine the night she died. It was just a little pill. Is that what killed her? Was it merciful? To her it was. She was ready to die. She didn't want to be here anymore. Is there any real merciful death? As I said, yes, my mother wanted to go. Was my dog and cat in pain, uncomfortable, not living their best life? Was that the way they wanted to end their contract here on earth? I guess so. The fact that I had a possible hand in them, is that going to come back to me mercifully? I hope so. In another way, I am very grateful I was there with them. Mercifully so. The next one is at the mercy of. And as I thought about this one, it scared me. I have been there at the mercy of. I've been at the mercy of my bosses, my teachers, my family, my friends, my husband, my fellow ministers, my fellow congregants. Every day we are at the mercy of other people. How we interact with them, how they interact with us. The speeding driver or the driver who cuts you off. The person in line in front of us or behind us. The coworker who gets fired. Talk about your PTSD and hypervigilance. It can get to us. You know what saves us? Mercy. Mercy of God. I was at the mercy of my mother my whole life. Well, not my whole life, my whole childhood and most of my life. There was no mercy. There was hurt, there was pain, fear, anxiety, untrustfulness, I created that word. It wasn't in a dictionary. And no compassion or forgiveness. With my mother, it took a lot of years of therapy, conversations, and yes, mercy on both our parts. And not until the last years of her life. And she just died 2 years ago. It took mercy to release the pain, the fear, the anxiety, and the other emotions so that compassion and forgiveness could come into our lives. Living in society, we need mercy. That with faith and love. Yes, there are those who will take advantage of others and not believe in mercy, but for the most part, we don't have to worry about the guy with tats and a motorcycle. He's probably on his way to a children's charity. And the person who's in line behind you, she's texting her friends that some old dude is in line with some gross food. She has compassion for you. Next on our list is have mercy. Thank you, you got it. I understand the words spoken by the defendant to the judge now. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me, Lord. Every day, have mercy on me. It never meant anything to me because I never was in that situation in front of a judge to have mercy. I ask you all to have mercy with me. Have mercy with your parents if they're still here, especially as they age for those who still have them here on earth. Have mercy for your parents if they have crossed over. They still need it. And deserve it, no matter what. Have mercy on the children in your life and those you meet. As a nanny, you knew I'd throw that one in there. They are so fragile in both mind and spirit and body that they need our mercy. They are showing us mercy every day in their faith and their love for us, that we need to guide them in their lives to the best of our ability and to the best of our mercy. Have mercy on your coworkers as they are doing the best they know how. They strive for mercy also, whether they know it or not, and are willing, in most cases, to give mercy in return. They spend more time with you than they do their families. Have mercy for those around you. We don't know their stories. We can't walk in their shoes. They may not fit. We may not understand the colors, the patterns. They need your mercy as you need theirs. I like errand of mercy. Have you done errands of mercy? Reverend Gina was on an errand of mercy. That's her whole life. I just figured out. I don't even know if she knows. She's giving compassion to a friend that is hurt, that is ill. And Gina does that. That's her whole ministry. It took this sermon to figure it out, that that's her. Gina is so compassionate about those who give. Yes, she was supposed to be here today, but she was in Florida giving mercy, giving compassion and love and forgiveness to her friend. and feeding her. Do you go shopping for someone who cannot do it for themselves? That's giving mercy. You're not hurting them, you're helping them. Do you give to those who are in need of help? Visit a sick friend or a fellow congregant who's in the hospital, sick at home? Each day we go in errands of mercy. We can choose to be compassionate to others. We can choose to go on errands of mercy daily. Ooh, I just saw someone walking up the front. I leave extra money in the meters. I pick up garbage cans that have fallen over, gone in the street. I call my friends and ask my neighbors if they need anything. I help the lady across the street plant her garden because she's older. I compliment others and help others. I share positivity and compassion, and I forgive others, and I'm learning to forgive myself. Have mercy on me. And then there's acts of mercy, acts of compassion, acts of forgiveness, acts of choosing not to give pain and hurt. We can choose that. I mean, sometimes it's funny, we see a joke on Facebook or something that's kind of sarcastic and nasty, and we laugh. But they're hurtful. They come from anger and fear and pain, not from positivity. I'm just as guilty. This past week, I did that. I didn't share it with Facebook. I shared it with a friend, but I still shared it. As you know, my grandsons broke the computer Reverend David lent me, and I later found out that Richard had fixed it. Yes, I did confess it to him this week, because the other word guy asked you not to tell him. I've had to borrow my husband's computer to edit my chair plan today and to write this sermon. He was appropriately concerned that I would break his computer too. We had quite the argument and showed no compassion and said things that we shouldn't have said. And I said a bad word. There was no mercy on either side. I didn't break it, but we did have a couple of issues. He fixed one and I fixed the other. And at the end, we both apologized and offered compassion and love. In researching this topic, I kept coming up with a couple of lists, and it drove me batty. You know how you put into your search engine and you go and you keep getting the same thing? So you do it a different way, and then Spirit keeps bringing up the same thing. So I put them in here, and I'll go through them because most of them we talked about. These are from the Catholic faith, and I guess they're just as important here, and we can adjust them to how we feel and what we think, but they're still important. They're acts of mercy. The corporeal works of mercy are acts of love and kindness for the physical and the material needs, which we need. To feed the hungry, to give drink to the thirsty. Randy, one of our parishioners, was riding his bike, and a neighbor took mercy on him, and Randy asked for some water from the hose. And the man went in his house and got him a glass of water and ice. He didn't want him drinking from the hose. So that was a nice, merciful gift. To clothe the naked, visit the imprisoned. And visiting the imprisoned is not just those in institutions. Some people are physically imprisoned in their home due to physical limitations or emotional and mental limitations. Shelter the homeless, visit the sick, bury the dead. I do like most of what they think of for the second spiritual work, the second one, which is spiritual works of mercy. Those address the needs of people's mind, hearts, and souls. Admonish the sinner, which I'm not sure, since I really don't believe I'm a sinner. They go on to say that it's give correction to those who need it. And that's giving mercy unto kids, mercy unto people. Instruct the ignorant. That's sharing mercy, sharing knowledge, being with them and sharing yourself. Counsel the doubtful. That's giving advice to those who need it. I see it as listening with mercy. Comfort the sorrowful. Even though as spiritualists, we believe that life continues, that there is no end with death. But we're here on earth, and we still have a loss. We still grieve. We still need comfort and mercy. Bear wrongs patiently. When people ask for mercy, give it to them. Forgive all injuries. Someone's hurt you emotionally, spiritually, physically, just like Chris Williams. He's hurt. Let's be merciful. And pray for the living and the dead. We do that here all the time, and that's merciful. So Spirit had me add them in. Whatever we say about using mercy as an ends from the means, let us think. Each time we feel mercy or act merciful, are we truly giving it the compassion and forgiveness before our act of mercy? And I'll end on this. As Jesus Christ said, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." Thank you. That one